Hi guys, German Prepper here. Industry is dying in the heart of Europe as the energy crisis ravages the continent. Unimaginable closures and deindustrialization are taking place. Every sector of industry is affected, but some, such as the metals industry, are near meeting their end. In a desperate and remarkable letter, Eurometall, the European Metals Industry Association, has laid bare the dire situation to the leaders of the EU. Listen through, guys, as this is so revealing and will give us as preppers a very good idea of where imminent shortages are about to occur. Here are the key excerpts. The business leaders of Europe's non-ferrous metals industry are writing together to raise the alarm about Europe's worsening energy crisis and its existential threat to our future. Our sector has already been forced to make unprecedented curtailments in the last 12 months. We are deeply concerned that the winter ahead could deliver a decisive blow to many of our operations, and we call on EU and member state leaders to take emergency action to preserve their strategic, electricity-intensive industries and prevent permanent job losses. 50% of the EU's aluminium and zinc capacity has already been forced offline due to the power crisis, as well as significant curtailments in silicon and ferroalloys production, and further impacts felt across copper and nickel sectors. In the last month, several companies have had to announce indefinite closures and many more are on the brink ahead of a life or death winter for many operations. Producers face electricity and gas costs over 10 times higher than last year, far exceeding the sales price for their products. We know from experience that once a plant is closed, it very often becomes a permanent situation, as reopening implies significant uncertainty and cost. Europe's clean energy goals require a competitive and growing metal sector to ensure a secure supply of the extra raw materials needed to shift away from fossil fuels. Base metals, battery metals, and other metals are all needed in higher volumes for Europe's grid infrastructure, electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, and hydrogen electrolyzers, as well as a complex web of other essential value chains across the European economy. We actively support your drive to improve Europe's strategic autonomy for its energy transition, and we want to make the long-term investments needed into advancing and expanding our operations ready for 2050. But all metals production needs affordable and available electricity and gas, whether aluminium and zinc today or lithium and cobalt tomorrow. We are deeply concerned that Europe faces a critical situation for the foreseeable future, with a perfect storm of sky-high electricity prices, no energy market liquidity due to insecure gas supplies, a continued nuclear and coal phase-out, and the remaining power sources being insufficient to cover market needs. Europe cannot have a successful energy and raw material strategy if its power and gas prices stay at today's levels for a sustained period without relief. The long-term investment climate for all EU strategic metals operations and projects risks being decimated, and more closures will follow next year once companies are not protected by their 2022 hedging of the electricity price. Any further EU production loss will also increase global greenhouse emissions due to replacement supply from more polluting regions. So guys, that was quite the warning there. I love the way they so blatantly make an appeal to the EU leaders directly by referencing so-called green goals and ideals that they are quick to point out will not be possible without them. Clearly, the industry is extremely desperate for government intervention at this stage, but inevitably, it all seems rather too late in the day now. This crisis will not be stopped. A question for you all now to end. What aluminium, zinc, lithium, cobalt, or other metal products does this intel spur you to pick up now for your own preps? As always, looking forward to reading your answers. Keep prepping, guys. Cheers for now.